So Lance, Neil was very complimentary to you the other day. Said you'd had a good 5-7 days of practice in a row. Is there a comfort level now that you're second year in, and what's coming about?
Yeah, it's definitely a comfort level. Getting around all the players going to be here. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely a comfort level. Also, I mean, it's also experience, I'd say. Having 4 years of game experience, it's definitely a plus. Takes some guys a little longer. I guess it just took a little longer for me.
Bigger, aren't you? Was that a concerted goal to get bigger?
Yeah, the goal was to hit 220 by the end of the summer.
So you've already hit it?
Yeah.
Keeping it on?
Yeah, definitely.
Last year's game experience, how much did that help? I mean, you'd played before, but it seems like, from our perception, you played more last year than you had at your time at Penn State. So how much does that help you in your development?
It definitely helps a lot being in. I mean, you have to switch defenses, switch schemes, just learn different how different people are going to play and within the defense, having different players. So it's definitely good having another year with the same guys, pretty much the same guys, and being able to work with it.
Had to learn Lee a little bit. How's that gone, playing off him?
I mean, it's pretty easy, to be honest. He got a lot of energy. He pick up for me sometimes, so it's pretty. It gets easy out there when you got another guy out there that can go out there and lead.
You said last year the schemes were different from what you were played at Penn State. You liked here. Now that you've adjusted to it, does the scheme fit you well? And what's the biggest difference for you in what you're asked to do?
I say I just run a lot more, being able to open up and show my speed a little bit more out there, and plus just being able to move quicker as well. Just putting on weight, but being able to move quicker, being able to move guys out the way, having more options out there. It's also a benefit.
I recall, I think the last time you mentioned Penn State wanted you more in the box. Is that right?
Yeah.
And here you've got the freedom to be able to be more of an athlete. Is that generally the difference between the two?
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it. It's just, out here, y'all see us. It's more one-backer boxes, two-backer boxes. Like, we changed it up a lot.
Right.
So it's different box schemes and stuff like that.
How would you rate the speed of this defense compared to the Penn State defenses that you were on back then?
It's probably the fastest defense I've been around.
Really?
So, in terms of speed, I think we got that. We just need put in dot our I's and cross our T's and all that. Be good with that and be all right this year.
Has there been an emphasis on you playing more physically? Has that been talked about, or?
Yeah. That's always an emphasis. You can never be too physical. You can be too physical. They got targeting calls and stuff, but like especially with your hands and stuff, you can never be too physical. So it's always something you got to work on.
And so the weight gain was to match that, right?
Yeah.
Part of that.
Yeah, it's definitely because I got long arms. I'm able to like extend out on defense or offensive linemen, and it's usually like, I'm not like Wyatt was just in here. I'm not finna go up and try to bull rush Wyatt. I'm a quick punch, but it's like now he's feeling me a little bit more.
Because you got that extra weight to give a little more force.
Yeah.
Okay.
Biggest difference between Big Ten offenses and Big 12 offenses now that you've played each?
Well, it depends on which teams, but in general, it's a lot more passing, Big 12. Mm-hmm. But you play teams like Ohio State, and all they do is pass. It's kind of like, some of the teams comparable, some of the teams is just completely like different.
In your opinion, what was your best game last year?
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
So the last game you played.
Yeah.
Well, why would you say that?
mean, I played the most snaps, had the most tackles.
So statistically,
Statistically too. But I mean, in terms of the defensive scheme and me doing my job.
okay. I know because
definitely
sometimes you
that's
can put up great stats and then you
Yeah.
get your grade and it's not
Yeah.
as good as your stats are.
Yeah,
Yeah, but this one was one where the grade and everything kind of matched up.
yeah.
Gotcha.
What would you say, because John talked a lot about speed, is the one thing that your group needs to work on in comparison to last year to keep getting better?
In terms of speed,
Just in terms of anything. He brought up speed, but just what's the one thing you would point to that you guys need to work on?
probably just being able to just playing within the defense a lot more. Just knowing more stuff, like knowing as much as the coach, so you can be really a coach on the field, like a part-time coach on the field. And if the whole defense is at that level, then we got 11 quarterbacks out there.
Do you kind of feel even more comfortable being one of those guys, even though there's other veterans there and you're coming from another program now another year in?
Definitely. I think I earned my respect a little bit, so definitely.
Lance, you talked about how fast everybody is, but you also mentioned how long you are. Just looking out there sometimes, everybody on the defensive line is like 6'4", linebackers are all 6'2", the safeties are all 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah.
Speed's cool, I get that, but that length is kind of unique too. What do you see that allowing you all to be able to do so far, and maybe giving quarterbacks or offensive lines issues?
I mean, it's just a lot less space in between the gaps, and like it's just a lot less. It's just a lot more condensed. The offense a lot more condensed, so it's like you don't really. I mean, we got a lot of speed, but the length helps us. I mean, we don't got to use it all the time. I mean, go runs to the ball, but I mean, if the gap's condensed, we gonna get to the ball. It's not gonna be that much space out there.
So maybe more run game than pass game?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, is that a bigger issue? I'm thinking about it closes passing windows, for example, maybe it makes
Oh.
it easier to pass rush.
Yeah, no. I mean, it helps it with everything, really. I mean, just having more length out there. Had guys that's fast with the length. I mean, you cover more ground. Defense about closing space.
Biggest improvement you made from that Minnesota game to where you are right now?
I say playing lower in around the field, just playing lower.
Playing lower,
Yeah.
leverage.
Yeah, leverage. Yeah, pad leverage.
Yep.